The words hit like a fist to the chest. You'll never be enough, Tom. Not for me. Not with that pathetic paycheck. Her voice, sharp and cold, lingered in the air of our dimly lit kitchen, the words slicing through the hum of the refrigerator. I stood frozen, the glass of water in my hand trembling, as Emily's silhouette leaned against the counter, her arms crossed, her lips curled into a smirk that didn't match the woman I'd loved for 12 years. I wanted to laugh it off, to chalk it up to a bad day. Emily was stressed. Her new role as VP at Sterling Enterprises had her working late. Her phone buzzing with emails even now, at 11 p.m. But the cruelty in her tone wasn't new. It had been creeping in for months, like damp rot in the walls of our marriage. Subtle jabs about my safe job as a logistics manager. The way her eyes flicked away when I talked about my day, as if my life bored her. I'd ignored it, told myself it was just her ambition talking, that she still loved me. But tonight, her words carved out something vital, leaving me hollow. Why would you say that? My voice cracked, betraying the hurt I tried to bury. I set the glass down too hard, the clink echoing in the silence. She shrugged, her silk blouse catching the light. It's just the truth, Tom. You're comfortable. I'm not. I need more. Her gaze darted to her phone, buzzing again on the counter. She snatched it up, her fingers flying across the screen, shutting me out. I turned away, my reflection ghostly in the kitchen window. Outside, the street lamp flickered, casting jagged shadows across the lawn. I wanted to ask who she was texting, why she was so distant, but the question stuck in my throat. Instead, I muttered, "I'm going to bed," and left her there, her laughter trailing me like a taunt. The next morning, I woke to an empty bed. Emily's side was cold, her pillow untouched. She'd left a note on the fridge, "Meeting at Sterling. Back late. No love, no sorry." Just her sharp, efficient handwriting. I crumpled the paper, my chest tight with a mix of anger and dread. Something was wrong, and it wasn't just her words from last night. It was the late nights, the locked phone, the way she flinched when I touched her. I'd been blind, but the fog was lifting. At work, my cubicle felt like a cage. The hum of fluorescent lights and the clatter of keyboards couldn't drown out her voice in my head. Pathetic paycheck. I stared at my computer, the spreadsheet of shipping routes blurring. Then an email pinged. Not from Emily, but from a name I didn't recognize. Anonymous sender. The subject line read, "You deserve to know." My pulse quickened. I clicked, half expecting spam. Instead, a single line stared back. Check her work email. Password. Sterling 2023. My mouth went dry. This was a violation. A line I shouldn't cross. But the memory of her smirk, the sting of her words, pushed me forward. I logged into her corporate account from my laptop, my hands shaking. The inbox loaded, and there it was, a thread with her boss, Richard Sterling. The emails weren't about work. They were intimate, flirty, laced with promises of after hours, and when we're free. My stomach churned as I scrolled. Each message a shard of glass. "I can't stop thinking about you," she'd written. "Tom's so predictable. He'll never suspect." I gripped the edge of my desk, the room spinning. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was calculated, deliberate, a secret life she'd built while I slept beside her. I should have stopped reading, but I couldn't. One email mentioned a deal. Sterling Enterprises was struggling, bleeding cash, on the verge of a buyout. Emily was pushing Richard to sell, to secure their future. "We'll be unstoppable," she wrote. The words burned. She wasn't just cheating. She was planning a life without me, built on the ruins of her company. That night, I didn't confront her. I couldn't. The betrayal was too raw, too vast. Instead, I poured myself into research, my laptop screen glowing in the dark living room. Sterling Enterprises was a mess, lawsuits, bad investments, a stock price in freefall. But it wasn't dead. Not yet. An idea took root, reckless and wild, fueled by the anger simmering in my chest. I wasn't the pathetic man she thought. I had savings, investments, connections from years in logistics. I could play her game. Over the next month, I moved in silence. I met with investors, leveraged every contact I had, and pooled my resources. Emily noticed nothing, too wrapped up in her late-night meetings and whispered phone calls. I let her think I was broken, let her underestimate me. Each day, I watched her leave in her tailored suits, her confidence a mask I wanted to shatter. The plan came together faster than I expected. A group of investors hungry for a turnaround saw potential in Sterling's assets. I pitched myself as the silent partner, the logistics expert who could streamline their operations. They didn't need to know my real motive. When the deal closed, I owned 51% of Sterling Enterprises. Emily's company. Her world. The confrontation came on a rainy evening, the kind where the sky seemed to weep for me. Emily sat at her desk in her home office, her laptop open, oblivious to the storm I was about to unleash. I stood in the doorway, a folder in my hand, the weight of my victory heavy and bitter. Tom. She looked up, startled, her eyes narrowing. What's wrong? I tossed the folder onto her desk. It landed with a thud, papers spilling out, legal documents, signatures, proof of the buyout. I own Sterling now, I said, my voice steady despite the rage clawing at my chest. Your company. Your future. Mine. Her face paled, her mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. What, how? She stammered, flipping through the papers, her hands trembling. You thought I was nothing, I said, stepping closer, my voice low and sharp. You mocked me, betrayed me, planned a life with him. But I'm not the fool you thought. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't care. Not anymore. Tom, I didn't mean, she started, but I cut her off. Save it. I saw the emails. I know everything. The words felt like venom, purging the hurt I'd carried for weeks. You're done at Sterling. And you're done with me. She sobbed, reaching for me, but I stepped back. The woman I'd loved was gone, replaced by a stranger who'd gambled and lost. I walked out, the rain soaking through my coat, the folder still clutched in her hands. The company was mine, but the victory was hollow. I'd won her world, but lost the one we'd built together. As I drove away, the city lights blurred through the rain, and I wondered if I'd ever feel whole again. The betrayal was a wound that would scar, but I'd survived it. And that was enough. For now.